Hey, it's Daps here. Welcome to this YouTube channel. I'm super excited to have you join me in this video. In this one, I want to continue my Figma to Elementor tutorial. I have been doing lots of tutorials and this is another use case. And in this one, I just want to show you how to use a prompt using a tool called Musho AI to generate an amazing landing page or a website inside of Figma, and then using UiChemy, optimizing it, locking up the component, and following the optimization companion to optimize the website for Elementor. So what we're going to be doing in this tutorial basically is for us to turn a simple prompt into an Elementor website. So if this sounds very interesting to you, I think we should get started ASAP. So right here on my screen is Musho AI. So they have a fantastic website here. You can easily come here to sign up for possibly a free account if you want to test it first, but they have a fantastic pricing system that allows you to try this out for free. So you can see what their price start from their basic to their pro to their mega, but for all of these things you can try it out for free. So I'll also be trying it literally for free. So let's just come up here and let's get this plugin, because we want to open this up inside of Figma. What we'll do is just to open up this plugin, and I'll open it up in Daps tutorial. That's a project I have opened. All right, so we have Musho AI opened here. So let's create something fresh. So you can see what we want to do is to just give this a prompt. So you can type in whatever prompt you want to type in here. But in my case, I have ChatGPT write something for me. Super easy. Create a modern, responsive landing page designed for an online digital service platform. The design should prioritize clean and minimalistic UI with visually appealing layout and blah, 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 blah things have been written here. And I think that's good enough for this. So let's just eat this for us to see what we can do. All right, generation complete, as we can see there. So now I can close this plugin completely. Now let's see exactly what we have. So if you scroll down here, so you can see, all right, trying to come up with a pricing plan here. Oh, wow. What our client says. All right, call to action, beautiful, an image here. Wow, this is good. All right, I think this is everything, and I think this is good. So fantastic. So right now we're going to try to optimize this using UiChemy to Elementor. Let's launch the UiChemy plugin. So let's come to plugin and let's come to UiChemy. All right, so we have the UiChemy plugin here. So what we're going to do is to optimize and convert. And definitely we want to select this frame, and then we want to confirm this. And then we want to launch our optimization companion. So we have the first recommendation here for us to lock multi-layer media. So we want to check them out to see. The first thing there is this icon. So what we can do basically here is for us to lock it. If we lock it, it will convert it into an image. But if you want to keep that vector, what you just need to do is just remove this frame completely. Then it will keep that vector. It would export it to Elementor as an SVG. So whatever you want to do there is fine. But for this, I can just lock this and then it will be exported as an image, and I think that's fine. I can hit the fix button here to lock it, or I can just lock it from here. So whatever you do there is fine. So let's rescan this. You can see that is gone. So let's go to the next one. Let's shift this a little. I think is the same thing for, let's check out for the next one. So you can see, but all of these things here can be tagged as a social icon. So I don't really think it makes sense for us to lock this. Since I would want to tag these social icons here as an icon list into Elementor, I would just ignore all of this. So let me, for all of these things here, I would just ignore them. So here I'll just ignore all of this. So let's come to the next one, which is stars. Let's see what that is. Okay, so that's star rating. Dragging this out, we can see that these are vectors. So if you want to keep these as vectors, maybe you want to have control over the vector. You might want to just delete all of this frame and then keep them as vectors so that it will be converted to SVGs. But again, for the purpose of this example, I will just lock this up. So if I click fix, that will be locked. So that would be converted to an image. So let's go for the next one. I think that's the same thing there. Let's just lock this up. That is a frame there that has an image. What we can do right now is for us to copy this image. It also has an overlay. Okay, I think let's see the properties. So we can see what the properties are here. An overlay of 25. So the image itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this image, and then we're just going to make it the background for this frame. So we'll paste it here. So I can take this out, and then we had the overlay of 25% there. So what we can do right now is to come to this image now, and let's delete this. So you can see that is gone, and we can delete this as well. So we now have that there, and I think that's good to solve that problem. All right, so now let's come to the media layout. Well, let's just lock this up too as well. For social icons, the same thing here. I think what we will do right now is also to lock this up. Let's just add all of them to auto layout first. That's doing Shift A, and then let's fix this. So let's fix that too as well. So the next thing here is to optimize the quantity of images and SVGs. So what this does is just to show you how the properties or the asset on your page, so that you can inspect them to see that there is nothing hidden somewhere that you are not aware about. And I think it's a fantastic tool, really. So let's just show the heat map. This will show you every of the asset, the vectors, everything you have on your page. By daily, we should be able to see the heat map open up here. I don't know why that is not, but again, I think that's not something to worry about. We can just mark this as done. So the next thing here is for us to remove unnecessary groups and frames. So we want to go through all of these things. Wow, this is a long list here, 23 of them. So let's check them out fast. So you can see that there's no need for that. So let's just fix this. So let's go to the next one here, the futures. So there is no need for this frame here. So let's just fix this too as well. So all of these futures here are the same. So let me check out the next one first. And then let's fix this. All right, so let's come to the next one here. Let's fix this. Let's come to our heading. Let's fix this too as well. Futures, let's fix this. I think it's the same thing for everything here. A lot of future here too as well. So let's just let's fix this. Let's come to the heading. As usual, let's fix this too as well. Let's go to the next one. Let's fix this. And let's go to our logo as well here. Then let's fix that too. And the next thing here is for us to enable clip content. So let's see, these are texts that are going out of frame. I want to keep this as very simple as possible. So for this title, let's just fix all of this. Let's come to our button here. The same thing, let's fix that. Let's come to title. Same thing there, let's fix that. Let's come to our button too as well. Let's fix that. Here we need to manage auto layout for complex frames, and we have 3 of them here. Let's see what those frames are. Let's come down here so that we're able to see the frame. Okay, that's it. For this circle, what we can just do basically is to use the Figma suggest auto layout option. So let's just suggest auto layout. So you can see that has been done there. So let's rescan this. That's gone. So let's come to the next one. I can see here that we lost the properties for this, so we're going to come back to that. So for this, we can see this is 2616. So now let's come back here. So for the height here, I think I'm going to reduce it back to 16. Let's see. All right, so I think that has solved for this error. So what I can just do is just copy and paste this, really. So let's just come here. This circle here, I'll just copy this. Let's just copy, and then let me come here. Let's paste to replace. Paste to replace to as well. All right, so I think that should solve for this. So now let's bring this back here and let's rescan this. Okay, that's gone. All right, so I think we're done here with the optimization companion from UiChemy. So let's just close this. There are still, we'll come back to UiChemy. There are some things we still need to do. Let's check out the design by ourselves. Let's inspect them to see that everything is fine. So coming up here, I think there's some menu items here. So let's click into that to see. So we can see some navigation label here. Let's open all of the text. Okay, this is a button. I think that's good. So for this one too as well. Let's just zoom in a little so we can see it's main, home, about us, and our team. So now let's come to the properties so we can see the colors here. So let's just try to play with random colors so that at least we can have a color that will contrast. Maybe something like this. I really do not want to flog this too much or look for. Maybe this is fine. So let's leave that. All right. Okay, so we now have our text there. All right. So now let's come here. Let's see what we have in this container. So we can see that we have a frame there, we have a container there, and then we have an image inside of it. But what we want to do right now is to copy this image and make it the background for this container. So we can see the height is 800, 1280. So now let's copy this. Let's come back here. So we can see that the properties is the same thing for the frame. So what we're going to do for this frame is to hit the fill, and then I will paste my image there. So we have an overlay of 40% dark overlay for that image. So now let's add an overlay to that. Okay, I think that's good. So now we can come back to this image here and this overlay here, and then we can delete them. So we can see that these remain the same, and I think that's good for that. So let's come down here to this frame. Let's see what we have. So for our future grid right now, we can see that the direction here is set to wrap, but I might just want to change that. I can change it to horizontal. I think I like that. I think we're done with that. So now let's come back to the next one here. Let's come to this container. Let's see what we have. Okay, direction. So let's come to the next frame. For these two as well, we can see the direction is set to wrap. So we want to change that to horizontal. And I think that's good for now. Let's check these two as well. Let's change the direction of this to horizontal. Okay. So for these two, this is set to wrap. So let's change this to vertical. The layout there. So for these two, we're going to change this to horizontal rather. All right, I think that's it for this. I think this is good. So now let's come down here too as well. Let's inspect this. So, okay. All right, I think this is good. All right, so right now let's just do some tagging. Let's launch the UiChemy plugin again. So for our logo here, I think the best thing for me to do is to convert this into a singular image instead of having it as vectors and then as a text. I'm not sure I would want to change my logo, basically, if this were to be your logo that you designed. So what I can just do is to right click this, then I can copy as PNG, and then I can paste to replace. So right now that has changed to an image, and I think that's just super beautiful. So right now for our image here, what I would do is that I would change this to fill, and I think that's beautiful. Now let's come to our button here. So this is the button. We want to tag this as a button. So let's check out for button widget. So here is it. So you can see that's been previewed as login. Unfortunately, there is no icon there, so we're going to leave this. If you have a link for this, we can add that. So since there is no icon, there's no need for a position, so we're going to save this. That has been tagged as a button, and I think that's good. So let's come to the second button here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tag this as a button, so we don't have an icon. So we're going to put a link here. We can leave this as is, and that's it. So that has been tagged now as a button. So the same thing we want to do for this button too as well. So we can see that. Let's launch our button here. Let's just put a link and then let's save that. So for this text here, we can tag this as a heading if we want, and then we can just say we want this as maybe H2 heading, and then let's save that. So whatever work for you is fine. Okay, we have a button here first. Let's tag that as a button. That's super important. Button here, so we can see this. The link to that, we can just leave that empty. But one thing we want to do for this button here is to make sure we give this a fill color. If not, while exporting it to Elementor, it will just add the default Elementor color there. So let's just come here, let's give it a fill, and let's just change the transparency to 0. All right, I think that's solved for that problem. So for this future list too as well, we want to tag this as an icon list. I think that should suffice for this. So you can see we have a list here, future 1, future 2. That's the only thing is able to tag there. Since it's not able to tag all of this, I think I'll just want to leave this instead of tagging this as an icon list. I'm not sure what this will look like if I tag it, and then if I want to keep all of these things here. So maybe I should just leave this entirely. Let's just come to back. This one too has 2 features here. Maybe I should tag this first, or let's just come to this one here. Let's tag this future list as an icon list. So you can see here we have all of the list here, 8 of them, and I think that's good. So let's save this. And then for this button, we want to also tag that as a button. I want to put a link to that, and then let's save this. For this button here, we want to add a fill color, like I said earlier. That's very important. And then let's just make it transparent. Let's turn that to 0. I think that's it for that. We have another button here too as well. So let's tag this as a button. Let's add. So see, this has a color, so I'm not sure there's anything to worry about. So this here should be a testimonial widget. Let's see if we can tag that as a testimonial. So for the first one here, let's come to our testimonials. So we can see the content, we can see the image, we can see the name, we can see the title, icon position, image position, aside, top. I really don't know what to choose for this. Maybe I'll just leave this as is for that, and let's save this. So let's see how this will come up eventually, but I'm not sure this should be on top. I think this should be aside. Let's just choose aside there, and let's save. It might alter the design a little bit, but again, let's see how that will come out. Okay, I think I will tag this as a testimonial widget. I will leave this as is. Let's see how both of them would come out. And I think that's good. So let's come to this button here. Let's tag these two as a button. Let's add a link to that. Let's save this. So we've got 2 buttons here too as well. So this is the first one. Let's tag that as a button. And then the secondary button, for these we want to add color to the fill, and then we want to change this to transparent. All right. So for our social links, let's add that as social icons. So we can see here Facebook, Instagram, and all of that has been added, and I think that's good. So let's save this. All right, I think that's it to this. I think now let's look into bringing this into Elementor. But before that, I think I will just want to rename this. Let me just call this dApps tutorial. All right, so now let's come back here. There's a lot of things we can work around, like the global styles, but I'm going to cover all of that in future tutorials. So let's convert this so we can see that has been done. So let's choose the live import. I have my website added here to UiChemy, so you can add that yourself. For example, if I click this here, you can add the site, and then you must be able to add UiChemy plugins and all of that. And I believe these are super simple, easy things. I have done all of these things in previous tutorials, so I will leave a link to that in the video description. You can check that out. So come here, I'll select a new page, and then let's come to page here, and then let's come to next, and then let's import this. So this is importing to my WordPress website, and I think it's done already. So let's just open this up here and let's see. All right, so you can see here we have menu here working well. So we can see we have this. This background image is not popping. I don't know why that is. So we have this here. This button here is out of the way. You might want to fix that inside of Elementor. This button here still needs some adjustments. So you can see this. Oh, that's not good. So you can see this one that we tagged as testimonial. You can see that it kind of altered the design, like I told you earlier. So we didn't have these two here. So you can see the difference. So I just actually did this to show you that. So okay, maybe we need to do some alignment here to bring this to the center. I'm not even sure how that design is here. Okay, this is supposed to be at the top and this at the bottom, and okay, maybe we can rework that eventually, but you can see this here. Also for this, we have an issue with this alignment, so this is a little bit shrinked. We can rework that. And also for this, we have some issues here. This should be on a straight line, but again, you can see the way this is working. By and large, is a fantastic conversion. We can go back to rework this. Okay, for this frame here, we have some issues with the alignment. So for this, I think I'll just make this horizontal. Okay, this has a minimum width here. So let's remove this. Okay, for this, so we can see that this itself is having this wrap. So let's make it horizontal for the testimonial. So we have this here as a singular frame, which is fine. And this here too as a singular frame, which is fine. So for this one right now, I might just choose to untag this. So in case I want to come back here, let's come back. So coming to widget tags, so let's come back here. For this, it has been tagged as a testimonial, so we can just clear this. All right, so coming back here right now too as well, we can change this to horizontal, which is needful. All right, I think that should solve for that. So for our button here, so this one too also has this minimum width, so we're going to remove all of them. So I'm going to take this out for this image, and I think that should solve for our image right now. So right, let's try to export our design now. Let's see what we have. Yes, let's go to live option. This time around, we are going to stick to the existing one. And we're going to export to page, and then we are going to replace what we have in dapps tutorial, and then let's go next, and then let's just import all of them, and let's see if this will solve for all our problems. Okay, that has been done. Let's come back here and let's refresh this page. Okay, so you can see now we have our image now back. This is good. This is good. This is still not solving for this problem here. Okay, you can come back and check. You can see this is solving for this. This is fine. This is fine. Oh, this is not good. So we can go back and correct these errors here, but again, these are errors that we can also correct inside of Elementor. Let's just edit this. Let's come to the back end of this Elementor and let's see. All right, so you can see that we have some work to do here in terms of alignment, but you see this should align well inside of our web view. But if we want to switch to maybe the mobile or the tablet view, we might need to make some adjustment here. We're going to come back to that in a bit. So for this here, you can see that this is taking so much for this, so we can just readjust this. So you can see that's shrinking up till when you are okay with the alignment. I'm not surprised that this is not aligning properly, but again, it is what it is. So we can just easily just drag all of these things out for this to suit our style. So let's open this. Let's see what we have. So you can see this is aligning well right now. We still have some issues with this here, so we can drag all of them out. Okay. So just dragging this out here should solve for this problem, and I'm sure this is good now on our web view. So you can see that has solved for that problem, and this is super clean and super beautiful. You see how super amazing it is. So we can come back here and still play around with our responsiveness. That's literally up to us. We can switch this to a tablet view. We need to just play around with the text here and there to see which one is aligning well and which one isn't, and then we can correct for that. So for this button here, I might want to drag these things out. So for this one, we might just want to increase the width a little so you can see that for this to just align properly. Maybe 400 like this will be fine for this. You can do whatever work for you, and I think this is good for me. And then you can come back also to your mobile responsiveness. Ideally, like I always say to people, I do not recommend that you bring in headers and footers into your page like this. You should be able to use Elementor Pro so that you can separate your headers and footers, and then you can bring in subsequent pages in case you want to have other pages. I have replicated how to do this in a previous tutorial. I'll leave that in the video description. So for our header, you can see this is just too long. We might want to solve this problem. Maybe something like this is good for mobile. You can see this. I'll leave this as is. You can play with this however you want, but you can see this is just super amazing. You might want to reduce the text here to make it a little bit smaller, and then you can see that this is beautiful. And that's exactly how to use UiChemy to convert your designs from Figma to Elementor, and I think this is super amazing. And that's it. You can go experiment with this. Once you're done, you want to make sure you hit the publish button here, and then your page is live, and then you can come here, you can view your page. As you can see here, we have our page here super ready for us to start using, and I think this is amazing. Oh, I think I missed this. Both should be on the same line, but I missed this. This is on different line. This is not good. So we can also correct that inside of Elementor as well inside of Figma. To correct that inside of Figma is super simple. You want to make sure that we change the alignment, and that's the reason why you need to go through all of these things. So if I come here right now to this button combo here, you can see if we scroll down and we come up here, we can see that this is set to wrap. We just want to change this to horizontal, and that will solve for that problem. So you can export. So you can export this design back again and update that page. That will solve that problem. Also inside of Elementor, you can come down here. For the button combo, we can come here and let's come to this. So we can come back to this button here. So what we want to do for this button is to come to advanced. We want to change this from the 100% full width to 50%. And then we want to come to the second button here, and we want to come to advanced as well, and we want to change this to 50. So we want to change this to no wrap, and then you can see it is now on the same line, and this is super easy to do. And then we want to publish this, and that's it. So we can come back here and we can refresh this. You can see this has been updated super easily. That's how to do this. I don't want to waste so much of your time going on and on to update this, but this is super easy to do. Thanks to UiChemy plugin, and also thanks to Musho AI giving us this amazing tool. So you can check them out. I will leave the link to all of this in the video description. And that's my time for this tutorial. If you find it useful, give me a thumbs up. If you have any issues whatsoever, do let me know in the comment section. I'll look out for them. I'll see you in another tutorial, and until then, stay safe.